Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the second episode of Shifting into High Gear. I'm Sam Hagan, and this is AP Fleet Management's webinar series, where we take a closer look at industries driving the economy forward, explore some emerging fleet management trends, and share some valuable insights that can help your business stay ahead of the curve. Today's episode is titled Beyond the Last Mile, Unpacking Trends and AP Fleet Management's Role in Shaping Delivery Excellence. Today, we're going to be diving into one of the fastest evolving transportation segments, last mile delivery. From rising customer expectations to new technologies and vehicle strategies, the landscape is changing quickly. And we're here to explore how AP Fleet Management is helping companies adapt and thrive. Joining us for this conversation is fwilliams, our Senior Vice President of Direct Sales, and Shotwell and Helmick, two of our experienced account managers who specialize in last mile solutions. Together, they're going to share their firsthand perspectives on new trends, what sets AP apart in this space, and how the right fleet management approach can create real, measurable impacts for your business. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, to get started, I'm going to have our speakers introduce themselves. So I'll go ahead and start off with Fred, if you want to give our listeners a little intro.
Yes. Hello, Sam. Thanks for having us. And hello to everyone that is watching. My name is fwilliams. I've been with AP for, 11 years now. And started in AP was my intro into fleet financing. Previously to that, I was actually in the mortgage industry, worked with my dad for umpteen years in the mortgages, doing real estate as well. One of the things that I really enjoyed about mortgages was, most of the time you're helping somebody purchase probably one of the biggest purchases they'll ever make in their lifetime. And you're making a huge impact, maybe even helping their dreams come true, putting them to a home. And then I carried that passion over to what we're doing in the leasing industry, especially working in package delivery and with FedEx contractors and Amazon DSPs who are running and operating a business, and helping them to grow and expand in their business and put trucks in their fleet and help even hire other individuals into their business. So that's probably one of my passions. One of the things I really love about what we're doing here, working with small to medium-sized businesses and helping them to succeed.
Awesome. Thanks, Fred. Ryan, do you want to take it next?
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm Shotwell, an account manager here. I've been with the company for 6 years. And some of the things that I love about, this package delivery industry is just watching the wins and the successes of the contractors, whether they're expanding into other terminals, and then just getting to actually be a part of that by supplying the leasing, financing, and now rentals that we have for all the contractors. So that's really cool. And then also actually meeting the guys and ladies at any of the shows that we do face to face, because we just do a lot of over the phone and email. So to meet people in person is really cool too. So
awesome, thank you. And Mark, take it away.
Thanks, Sam. Hey, I'm Helmick. I'm an account manager here at AP, doing fleet leasing, rental, financing. Same role as Ryan. I've been here at AP going on 2 years now. I've been helping final mile contractors since about 2017 in different companies, but still facilitating rentals to get those packages to porches. Basically, one of the most accomplishing best parts of the job is to see our customers, kind of like Ryan said, watch the customers grow with the customers, help them have get the vehicles that they need, and watching them be successful and finding the next one. Really, it's a thrill of the chase. Getting the one customer giving you a referral to the next guy is a huge thing. We really love that, and we really put an emphasis and focus on taking care of our clients and getting that repeat business.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the introduction, guys. We can just go ahead and jump on in. I could start out with our rental program. So AP's been in the delivery contractor space for nearly 20 years. Why rentals now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start off with that, Sam. So, it kind of goes back, that question makes me think of even 2019, when we had been already providing financing for contractors for many, many years. And then we found out that the contractors that we worked so closely with we're going to have to find ways to finance scanners. We didn't know anything about scanners, nor did we even want to be in the scanner business necessarily, but we wanted to find a way to be able to fulfill a need that a contractor that we had built relationships, rapport, and help them to continue to grow and expand their business. So we got into the scanner business, helped them out with that. In fact, we're still providing scanner financing for the contractors today. And that kind of leads me into, when we're looking at rental, we knew that was a need that most FedEx contractors, Amazon DSPs are utilizing rentals regularly. I think on the FedEx side, if my facts and numbers are correct, there's anywhere from 15 to 30,000 rentals in the FedEx space at any given time. And eventually we wanted to, as a company, grow into kind of an FMC model. And there's a lot of complications that go into that. And we were fortunate in the last 2 years to bring some extremely talented individuals onto our company that had some of this experience, years and decades of experience. And so this is an opportunity for us to continue to pivot, move where our industry and our client base is wanting and desiring us to move and making those decisions. And it's been a great learning opportunity and experience for us over the last couple of years providing these rentals, and we hope to expand that even more as the years to come. But I don't know, Mark, Ryan, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that.
Just offering a short and long-term solution. Obviously, we offer financing, but these would be the short-term solution. So I think contingency is a huge part of that too. When somebody does contingency, they don't really know if they're going to end up getting the routes or how long they're doing it for. So we offer, 3 to 24 months on our rentals. And then if you want to go longer term, we go all the way up to 72 months. So it was just a really good way to offer basically everything that we could, short term and long term.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Bridging that gap between that short term need and that long term need is where you can really be on your toes. And we can kind of have a jack of all trades approach where we can provide various solutions to our clients. And, one of the cool things that I'm sure we'll touch on later is the rent to lease or finance conversion. So you can start off with a 3-month rental, and then you can end up owning that vehicle through its entire life cycle, from it being a brand new vehicle delivered as a rental vehicle. And then you keep it all the way through the end of its life cycle. So that is definitely something that we highlight as well.
Yeah, I like what you said there, the jack of all trades, because we do talk about that a lot with AP Fleet, that we're not really a one size fits all. We're more of like a solutions purpose built company. So how does that philosophy kind of guide our approach to the last mile delivery industry and kind of the relationships that we're building there?
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and start this one off too. I think it's important for our viewers to understand, when we're not your typical bank that you'd be able to walk into and that maybe is going to be a generalist and do anything and everything that potentially is going to hit their desk. We want to focus on specific industries and niches for many reasons. One of the reasons is that, account managers like Mark and Ryan, they can understand and know the industry inside and out and understand how FedEx or how Amazon may function at a higher level than maybe what their corner bank might understand how that industry works. And so then what ends up happening naturally is, because you're getting to know the contractors or the DSPs on a personal level too, and getting to know their business on an intimate level, is you're finding out their needs, maybe even sometimes before they're even happening. So as safety requirements start to evolve, we're learning about different safety requirements that they might need on their truck. So then we can communicate to the body manufacturers and making sure that their equipment that we're going to be potentially building and working with dealers, that's being passed on to them, and that the trucks that they're going to eventually need or require to have in their fleet are going to have all the safety requirements that they're going to require to operate a successful business. And then that kind of flows over, Sam, onto some of the other things and needs that a FedEx contractor or DSP might want, because we're very niche specific and making sure we're fulfilling those needs, not just necessarily financing or renting a truck. But Ryan and Mark, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that.
FedEx always says every individual business is different. So that is the case with us. We know that everybody is in fact different and their needs are different. So, that's why we offer so many different avenues.
Yeah, is there any specific examples that come to mind when you think of like that out of the box thinking to meet our customers' needs? I know it's kind of putting you guys on the spot right there.
Sam, I could take that. So generally speaking, like to be a solutions based outside the box thinker, there almost has to be a problem or a need, right? So once that good, communication is received from, our customer, we can then process that and then kind of go through our bag, right? We could figure out, okay, we have leasing, we have rental, we have financing, what trucks are available on the market. We can kind of go, think of a mad scientist in their lab, just, that's going on in our head when we're understanding a problem. Okay. So we're trying to think, we're solutions based, right? So we have the problem, customer needs trucks, they're experiencing growth, they're experiencing a loss of a vehicle, they need a replacement, right? So our next step is, okay, identify that need, identify the potential solution. Now, you could probably find 8 different solutions for one problem, but how can we, get that really customized solution that's going to basically scratch the itch and meet the needs of our customer? That's why having the market knowledge, working with so many, hundreds of clients. I know between Ryan and I, we work with probably thousands of just FedEx contractors alone. So knowing all the stories, hearing all the scuttlebutt, what's happening out there, what the market's looking like, really gives us that competitive advantage to, like I said before, go in our bag, figure out what we have to meet their needs, have that solution-based approach, get them exactly what they need. So kind of think that answers your question with just kind of going into all of our connections that we have and all the solutions that we can offer, and working through that with the customer, making sure the price is right, making sure the vehicle and the equipment's right, and let's say the financial engine of whether it be a lease, a rental, or a finance.
That's interesting too. If I might add, I remember a situation that I was talking to a FedEx contractor. I think it was in California. And then shortly after talking to them about some changes that were going to be starting to happen in California that they were going to be testing, I ended up talking to a contractor on the East Coast. I think, let's just say it was New York, somewhere on the East Coast. And I was bringing this up to them because that's what happens a lot, right? We'll talk to a contractor, we'll learn things, and then we'll kind of carry those conversations and kind of go a little bit deeper and sometimes share information that we're learning with these contractors. So again, it's not just, hey, you need to buy a truck, but we're talking shop. And really they understand it at a higher level that we get their business and we're in the trenches, but just in a different way. But I remember talking to this contractor about some of these changes that were maybe evolving on the West Coast. And they're like, yeah, no, we've never heard of that. That's interesting, but I'll bring it up to our manager, our next safety meeting. And they called me back like a week later and they were laughing because the contractor on the East Coast, he was like, he had brought it up to a safety manager and there was just like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I think whoever it was you talked to might have misinformation. Well, then a week later, they ended up being updated that this is something that's going to be coming and evolving. And that manager wanted to know who they were talking to that maybe had this information. So just little things like that, which are really interesting that we're able to just kind of share what we're learning. Contractors are sharing with us that we're able to then take that to wherever we might need to help their business and help their business grow and continue to pour into the FedEx model, continue to pour into the Amazon DSPs as well.
Yeah, I love that because that kind of brings back that consultative approach too, and kind of having customers feel a bit more comfortable telling you exactly what their pain points are and where they need help, where we can fit in with that. Um, Kind of talking about the options that AP offers is the rental, the lease, and the financing options. How would you walk a customer through finding what's right for their business?
One of the first ideas is, as we're approaching end of year here, right? So people have talked to their CPAs, they maybe understand their tax liabilities, and maybe they're looking to just do a straight finance to maximize potential write-offs for, their tax liabilities here towards the end of the year. So that's one of the common conversations right now is potentially let's get some financed on the books. Now, other than that, some people do have tax strategies. They work with their CPAs, or they have an idea in their head where they ask about leasing. Kind of another option there where the monthly payment is going to be kind of viewed rather than that full exact financed amount for the end of the year. So it really comes down to overall preference. To us here, for all intents and purposes of what we do, getting the customer that vehicle is our main goal. Fulfilling their need, solving that problem. But looking at our different options, there are definite ways that we can where maybe our specialty is with probably looking at financing. A straight finance agreement is probably our bread and butter. Now looking at the rental and the leasing products as well, those are there too. And if inventory is there within our rental platform, we could definitely get rentals out just as easy as we finance a truck. So that's first thing that comes to mind is what is the customer's overall financial goal? Also looking at a monthly payment, because sometimes we all have to focus on cash flow and success in the short term, not always just the long term of the way that they're gonna go ahead and exchange funds for that end user vehicle. Those are the main things that come to mind when you're understanding the customer's goals, understanding their cash flow needs and their equipment needs, and what we have available.
Yeah, and that's well said, Mark. And I think as Sam, as our company, AP equipment financing has evolved over the last couple decades, specifically working with package and delivery. I don't want to say it used to be simpler, but we obviously didn't offer as many products and programs as we once offered in the very beginning. And so being able to look at the fact that we're talking to someone and it's not just fulfilling an order request, but again, it's getting to know their business. It's getting to know what they're used to, what they're accustomed to, what they're trying to accomplish. Whether it's talking financing, rental, leasing, maybe even a purchase option, structuring their deals so it works well for their business, because what works well for one contractor may not work well for another one because they have different needs at different times. And so I think that's important for each one of our experienced account managers, like Ryan and Mark and so many that we have here with the company, to ask those questions whenever they're getting to know their contractor. And even things like remarketing program that we've started here recently. So many times we have contractors that have equipment that they don't need anymore, and they don't know where to take it to sell it. We have ways to be able to market that equipment, put cash in their pocket, and replace it with a new piece of equipment that will work well for their business. So we're always trying to figure out ways, again, as a true FMC, a fleet management company, to add different features and different products and programs that can help pour into the industries that we want to focus on, like FedEx and Amazon.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of room built into the structure of AP where customers can really adapt their businesses to whatever their growing or scaling down needs are. Bringing rentals into a new offering of what AP does, how have you been able to approach that conversation with some longer term customers that we've had and convince them that rentals could be a good solution for them?
It's been a really easy transition to be able to offer rentals. I mean, everybody from long-term to short-term contractors totally appreciate that we do this. Actually, some of them have been relieved that we now offer it, because then they can just come to us basically for everything as far as renting and financing. And because a lot of them, no matter what, I think every contractor had rentals at some point in time during the year. And so now that we offer it, once again, they can just come to us for basically anything they need truck-wise.
Awesome. So now we really do offer those end-to-end fleet strategy solutions. So what can that mean for a contractor who used to not get the rentals through AP, but now can do everything through AP?
I said it before, but jack of all trades, right? We can get you the finance truck, so we can get you a truck, whichever way you need it, whether that be a rental, a lease, or a finance. So that puts us at that advantage as well, where we are that call. We're the one call that's being made. Granted, we understand all the other outfits out there that we, compete against on a daily basis, but it's all really, the end goal is supplying our clients with the right equipment at the right price, and the right arrangement, really.
Awesome. And then I'd love to talk a little bit to after, our vehicles are in the customer's hands, where do we help out with maintenance, compliance, safety, things like that, just to make sure that their lives are a bit more stress-free?
So we do provide, Sam, a website where contractors, once they have their trucks, they can go to, and it's going to provide them with steps and processes that they are able to follow when it comes to properly maintaining their rentals, and with a toll-free number that they'll be able to call and get their vehicle into the closest shop, that would be able to take their vehicle and start doing some of that preventative maintenance. All the vehicles should also have QR codes inside of the vehicles that they could easily scan, and it take them directly to the website that I'm just mentioning for ease, where any of their drivers, they have a breakdown or just want to be able to scan it and get the information that they need to do to be able to get the truck taken care of for preventative maintenance. Of course, most of our equipment that we have right now, because we're still only a couple of years into the rental side, are new, and so they're going to be covered under warranty as well. So any major issues that might happen that go over and beyond that preventative maintenance will be covered under warranty, which of course would have to go to the manufacturer, the OEM, for that work to be taken care of. We do have a team of experts as well with decades of experience that they would be able to call and build those rapport and that relationship. So you're not just talking to a computer or delivering stuff to an email. You could actually call someone else other than your account manager that is specifically trained and has the expertise to be able to answer the questions they might have, whether it be maintenance, warranty issues, and even down to whenever it comes to returning the vehicle, what are the steps and processes of that, so they can actually communicate with someone and then be able to help them out and kind of hold their hand and walk them through that process.
And Fred, I'm glad you brought up our client experience team, because without them, I mean, we would be in a world of trouble. I will say, having the, let's say like job title as account manager, you really wear a lot of hats. One of the hats that it's really hard to wear as an account manager who focuses on originations and vehicle hunting and starting kind of like the beginning of the life cycle of let's say the customer experience. We really do lean on our client experience team, who, like Fred said, has so much experience in problem solving, methods of taking care of their needs, whether that be fixing a vehicle that broke down that's out of warranty or in warranty, or just basic preventative maintenance. If we had to answer every call as an account manager, I don't think we'd ever be off the phone. So that's why having those background teams and processes in place really help, like we said before, the client experience. And that's the goal, right? We have that awesome back end team that's going to take care of you after Ryan or me or another account manager here at AP get you all set up with the vehicles.
Yeah, and I think that's a really awesome point, because we do hear some of the pain points a lot of customers have is being able to call somebody and nobody answers when they're trying to figure something out. They don't want downtime. So the fact that AP is really great about that, and we do get a lot of really great feedback from customers that do call out our customer experience team. So with that being said, why is that so valuable for a contractor? Why would they choose to work with AP because of that difference over somebody else who offers the same thing?
I could jump on it briefly, and then maybe someone else could pick up, if that's okay.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, all I was gonna say is, like, one of the things that AP always highlights is the power of personalized. We offer that. So it's 2025, almost 2026. There's a lot of phone calls. There's a lot of texting. There's a lot of emailing. There's various methods of communication. We definitely have that personal approach where, I can be on the phone with a client who's maybe experiencing a need, and I can jump into our internal chat room and be chatting with our inventory manager while I'm on the phone with someone, basically solving that problem, trying to own every experience, and just take care of that initial problem that's happening right there instantaneously, getting the phone number to corporate claims management, or working, an idea for a solution, maybe teeing up an email to the right team, just having that personalized way to take care of an issue whether it be, like we said, with rental or with anything else. I think that gives us an advantage as well.
For sure. Like you said, yeah, Power Personal. I personally have called, FCCC, Freightliner, gotten them on the phone for warranty stuff. I've called Ford customer service and opened up cases for people. It just helps make things easier for the contractor. They're super busy. They're on the phone with employees, truck maintenance, all that stuff. Just having another avenue or someone else to help alleviate some of that stuff that they have to take care of. So.
Yeah, no, I think it's also important to at least recognize it's not that it's a requirement by any means, but I think it is important to recognize that I could definitely say that every single one of our account managers, again, it's not a requirement, but they're available almost 24/7. Many times they're picking up the phone on a Saturday, on a holiday, when they're off on vacation, and they're picking up a phone call for a customer that is in need. And I think that's important, right? There's some value in that. In the 11 years that I've been here with the company too, is that we're not afraid of technology. We're not afraid of expanding and using technology that's going to help our customer base as well to make allow them to be more efficient. So with from our electronic documents where they can digitally sign those, to our power of attorneys that they don't need to walk into a bank and get a notary to sign a paper and send it in. They can actually do that digitally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so I think little things like that, Sam, where it's just not that the power of personal, which I love that Ryan and Mark both notated that, but technology and just being available for our customers because we care, I think goes a long way.
Yeah, definitely. It's really, I think, refreshing for a customer to hear that, all those power of personal and things like that are plastered all over our websites. It's something that everybody at the company from the top down live and preach. So I think that's a really awesome thing to have. One other topic that I wanted to jump into was, is there anything kind of coming up in the future, AP, last mile, industry, anything like that you guys are really excited about or looking forward to?
Oh, having trucks available, having step vans available, the first part of the year, I'm really looking forward to that. This is a dip. There's been a dip in inventory, and I've been a part of a few of these. COVID, there was a dip in inventory, then there was actually a surplus. So I'm hoping we're kind of at the dip right now. I'm hoping that all comes back up. And then just us being able to offer more rentals, because I think we're all basically sold out of rentals, but being able to offer more next year so we can help out more customers.
Yeah, and Sam, we just got back not too long ago. I guess it's been maybe a month or so from the annual FedEx Forward Summit. And that's always a great time, something that we look forward to every year. FedEx has done a fantastic job putting that event together over the last, I think this is their third year that we've been invited to go and be in front of contractors that some of these, I've known for over a decade. Ryan and Mark have built really, really good relationships with them. And there's that, when you connect with someone face to face, that's priceless, right? Because you're able to meet them, toe to toe, maybe even share a drink together or a meal. And I think that goes far for that relationship building. And every year, especially this time of year right now, what we're doing, Sam, is we're looking at what events are happening going into 2026. And what events do we want to be at that we feel like we can have an impact and be available for the industries that we really want to pour into. And so more to come on that, and we're, FedEx Forward Summit, that's definitely one that we're going to do every year. There's some things that are happening in the Line Hall as well. And some other summits that we're looking to plug into. So always excited to have opportunity to get in front of the contractors when we can.
Awesome. Well, as we wrap up, is there anything anybody else wants to add or mention before we close it out here?
I think one thing that really sticks out to me, so I've been at AP going on 2 years now, adding this rental to what we've already been doing just really puts us at a huge advantage in the market when we can sell against multiple companies where a contractor would have to make 3 different phone calls to solve 3 different problems. they only have to make that one phone call with us here at AP. So that's something that I think gives us a huge competitive advantage. And then it's just up to us really to take care of our customers and, be the best we can be so our customers can do the best in their businesses. So.
Yeah, Sam, and I want to add too that if you're watching this video right now, first, I just want to say thank you. We appreciate your time that you've invested into watching us kind of hopefully answer some of your questions and go a little bit deeper about who we are. And if one of your questions was not answered, I would just ask that you give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to answer any questions that you have. But again, also, I want to say if there's anyone listening to this call that has worked with AP, that's done business with us, whether it's today or years ago, thank you. We appreciate your business. We wouldn't be where we're at today without you. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. We value your business, and we hope that you know that. For those of you that are listening to this call and have never worked with us before, we hope that this has enticed you a little bit, enough to want to give us a call and give us an opportunity to earn your business, because that's what we desire to do.
And another thing too, AP is tried and true. They've been around for over 20 years. And one thing I love about the company is they're always trying to innovate and make things better. So moving forward, we're just going to try and have more solutions for the customer to make their life easier.
That wraps up today's episode of Shifting into High Gear. Thank you so much to Fred, Ryan, and Mark for sharing your insights, and thank you all for tuning in. We hope today's conversation gave you a deeper look into the evolving world of last mile delivery and how AP Fleet Management is helping businesses deliver excellence every step of the way. If you'd like to learn more about our customized fleet solutions or connect with one of our experts, visit apfleetmanagement.com or reach out to our team directly. And if you enjoyed this discussion, be sure to follow AP Fleet Management on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more industry insights, updates, and future episodes. We'll be back soon with more conversations about trends and innovations that are shaping the future of fleet management. Until then, we will see you next time.